like red licorice, and I just like regular food, just corn briskets and beans and fried chicken and, just food.
I eat too much. Too often. When I get nervous, I eat, and when I'm depressed, I eat. I just eat anytime.
Well, I don't like myself fat. I really, in fact, I could say I hate myself, and I feel really self-conscious around other people. I feel like everyone's watching me, and I feel like, a fat person just isn't lovable.
My parents are overweight. It could have been from their example, but I think it's just because of myself. I just never controlled myself or my diet or anything.
I'm too fat because I eat too much.
And I don't want to have to go through that.
You don't want to be sexy.
I want to be kind of neuter. Really.
One of the major problems is the lack of dating activity. Most of the girls are not dating, and most of them don't want to because of their poor self-image and discouraging experiences. Deliberate efforts are made to develop social skills through special assignments with the goal of improved rapport with the opposite sex.
Everybody's going to have a reason to be unhappy to some extent. But you're taking these reasons and using them as a basis of staying up there.
I'm not worried that I won't get married because I know I will.
Flawed.
And so that's not my hang-up.
But Dawn, your past history and Karen's past history indicates that you're both in ruts.
That's true.
And if you don't get out of those ruts, you can be, just like Maury said, when you're married as well.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get out of my rut right now.
But part of the rut is not facing up to reality and not being honest.
That's right. But I'm trying to get out of it.
But you get very angry when somebody tries to help get you out, don't you?
Yeah.
And so
I really want to. I really am trying.
I think you are, because you keep coming in spite of it being.
Yeah, I can every week.
I posted a video a couple of weeks ago about the intense pressure that I felt as a Mormon woman to be thin and just generally attractive to men. And I got so much backlash from Mormons across all my platforms that I actually sat down and cried for a little bit. It was pretty intense. So then I went digging through my files to find this amazing nugget from the BYU production company in 1971. And guess what? I 100% stand by my statement that the Mormon Church pressured me to be thin and generally attractive to men. If you're new here, I'm Jenny Gage. This is Life Take 2, where I share my escape from Mormon trad wife life. Let's dive into thinness in Mormonism, part 2. I grew up in the Mormon Church, and stuff like this was just normal to me. We would have young women's lessons where we talked about being attractive. We would read a book called Fascinating Womanhood that I'm not going to dive into on this video. I'll save it for another one, which basically outlined things like when your husband comes home from work, make sure that you're looking pretty, that you take a bubble bath first so you smell nice, freshen up your hair and makeup. You're always to be beautiful for your husband. One of the prophets that lived just before I was born, his name was David R. McKay, had a wife who was famous for never, ever, ever letting him see her without her makeup on. She was hospitalized for a while, and in his memoir, he wrote that even while she was in the hospital, she had the nurses do her hair and makeup so that she would always be attractive to him. And this was the ideal that I was sold as a Mormon woman. So watching the movie Fat Fighters as a seminary kid growing up didn't bother me at all. Of course, I knew that Heavenly Father wanted me to be thin and perfect and pretty and princessy so that my eternal companion would fall in love with me and love me forever. But as a 50-year-old ex-Mormon grandma with college-age daughters, this video makes me absolutely sick. The pain in these girls' faces as they talk about, I know I'm not attractive, nobody's ever going to love me. The only thing that I should want in life is to be thin and perfect for my husband. But, oh my God, I'm addicted to food. It's disgusting. And this was the Mormon church that I lived in. And there's a very simple reason for that. In Mormonism, women are only there for the male gaze. A woman is never supposed to die single. She's supposed to get married and have babies and be an eternal companion to a worthy priesthood holder. I personally wasn't valued at all for being smart, creative, hardworking, opinionated, loyal, diligent, nothing. All anybody cared about was, did I look like wife material? Was I literally attractive enough that somebody would want to wed me, bed me, and have some babies with me, and then stick it out for the long haul. About 10 years or so after I got married, my husband would come home from work and tell me about a conversation that he'd had with one of our employees. This employee had met me a few times. He was engaged to get married, and I think he was kind of thinking that we should all go out on a couple double dates and maybe go on a couple camping trips and stuff. We loved to camp. They loved to camp. So he was trying to feel out what type of a person I was and whether or not I would jive with his fiance, soon to be his wife. So he asked my husband, tell me a little bit about Jenny. What's she into? My husband came home from work that night and said, I couldn't think of a single thing that you're into. And I felt absolutely invisible. I asked him, come on, honey, if you were going to describe me to somebody who had never met me, what would you say? And Jake said, she's skinny, blonde, hot, double deep bra, and she likes to cook. That was it. That was absolutely all that he had to say about me, because that was the only thing that he valued about me, and that was the only thing that he had been taught to value about me. I existed purely for him to be attracted to me so that we could have little Mormon babies, and that was it. He did not care about the fact that I was a prolific writer of poetry, that I loved to read, that I hiked 5 days a week, that I was skilled in culinary art. He didn't know or care about my wood-burning bathe or how quickly I could fold a tent in a sleeping bag. Girls' camp, boy, those skills came in handy. Towards the end of our marriage, when everything fell apart and we were in a little bit of therapy, a therapist would ask my husband why he ever fell in love with me and married me in the first place, kind of hoping to spark a flame so that we could reignite the passion. And what Jake said was interesting and sad. He said it was chemistry. She was the prettiest Mormon girl that I had personally ever seen. He stopped thinking I was hot within just a couple months, though, and would eventually cheat on me again and again and again and again and again. This goes much deeper than just Jake. This is a systemic problem within the Mormon Church, evidenced by the fact that Utah has more plastic surgeons per capita than Beverly Hills or anywhere else in the United States of America, hands down. And exactly what type of plastic surgery are the Mormon girlies doing? I'll tell you, because all my friends have had it done. The mommy makeover, which personally I would love to do because I had 4 babies of my own. My body's never exactly looked like it did before. All the little Utah mommies driving around with their swig sodas are getting their mom bellies liposuctioned and tucked, breast augmentations and lifts, and this underarm, a little bit of liposuction, then Botox, filler, tightening, lifting. I don't know. I would love to have this done, but I just don't think I believe in that stuff. And by the way, I've never had anything done. I just have chubby cheeks and I take good care of myself. But I had to take care of myself because I was a Mormon and I needed him to stay in love with me. Otherwise, the marriage would end and I didn't have a fucking job. So if that marriage ended, then I would be out on the street. Oh, wait, that's actually what happened. Welcome to Life Take 2, where I share about how that after my husband was no longer attracted to me, fell out of love, picked up all the other girls, then I was homeless, sleeping in the back of my SUV, whether 1971 or 2025. It all boils down to this. The Mormon Church needs men to be attracted enough to women to have babies with them, because the Mormon Church is hyper-focused on membership expansion, as any big, top-heavy organization is. Nobody wants membership shrinkage. They need to expand. So let's keep those women sweet and cute and pretty so that all the boys want to get it on. Oh, how I wish that I had a time machine so that I could go back to 1971 and tell one of these poor college girls in this ridiculous film, you do not exist for the male gaze. A man is not a plan anyway. He's probably going to ditch you for something hotter 24 years down the line. Why don't you build the life of your dreams? Maybe go travel Europe, start a business. And if you really want to go far in life, just find a way to ship everybody everything that they could ever buy so that they don't have to go to the store. And you'll be set for life. No man needed. You'll thank me later. Let me end with this. Since leaving the Mormon Church, I have gained a considerable amount of weight. I was the size of a child. I was the same weight that I was when I graduated from high school as a 44-year-old woman, and I achieved that by never eating. I was always hungry. I lived in terror of my husband falling out of love with me, so I kept myself stick skinny, and he fell out of love with me anyway. And to this day, when I eat a meal and I feel full, I will comment on that. It's so weird to feel full. It feels so good. In case you're wondering, I never had to have any therapy around my body image or weight. All I had to do was walk out the door of the Mormon meeting house. Problem solved, free of charge. Thanks for watching.